Hello! Welcome to Regans, Rants, and Raves. My name is Ellie, and I am your hostess with the mostest. And today, we'll be ranting about, raving about, and probably really not bitching about...
Yeah, mostly raving.
Mostly raving about 2021's Candyman. If you have not seen this movie yet, I highly recommend you go do so, you stupid invalid. Why haven't you seen this yet?
Get
Yeah.
That was a unique insult for you. Invalid. That's,
I'm getting creative now.
Oh, good.
Yeah, instead of me yelling at you, I'm just gonna get really creative with my insults for you not going to go see this horror movie.
I love to see you grow as a character.
I know. Anyways, before you sit down, maybe go watch that movie before you listen to this spoiler-filled mess.
Or don't. Just listen to us spoil it for you and never see the movie ever.
Yeah, how dare you give them your money?
So anyway, this movie was directed by Nia DaCosta, and it picks up as a direct sequel to the original movie. It ignores the sequels that were made years ago, thankfully.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of them, but, you know.
So I've heard. But it takes place in present day, way after the last of the Greenie Towers have been torn down. And our main character and his partner move into a loft in the new gentrified neighborhood. And after a chance encounter with an old-timer exposes our main character to the true story behind the Candyman. He's anxious to use these details in his studio as fresh inspiration for his paintings, but unknowingly opens a door to a complex past that unravels his own sanity and unleashes a terrifying wave of violence, to paraphrase the IMDb synopsis.
Yes. Good.
Yes.
So, Alec, what did you think of this movie?
I loved this movie.
I also loved this movie.
I remember being so excited for this movie, even though when it had been announced, I had never seen the original.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Jordan Peele being attached to it as a producer is exciting enough, I think, for any horror fan. Not to mention when they released the first teaser, the shadow puppets, you really knew you were in for something special whenever this movie came out.
It was beautiful.
Yeah.
Definitely beautiful.
It's rare to see that kind of creativity, especially in
a fucking horror movie.
Yeah, or a horror sequel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's also kind of weird to have a horror sequel be such a good lead up to what the original was.
Yeah.
And it's also majority black cast, which is fan-fucking-tastic, especially for Candyman, which deserved that.
Right.
Instead of having Helen be the lead, I guess.
And we love Helen, but
I was okay, so I've been listening to a lot of other people's reviews, and I don't know if I should do shit like that, but I did.
Yeah.
I've heard people use the term white savior.
Yeah.
In a primarily black story, so I'm very, very happy that was not how we did it this time around.
Yeah. I don't want to talk too much about the original because I think we did that already.
We have.
But I do hesitate to call Helen a white savior, considering that she's kind of she doesn't really save anything. She kind of just unfucks her own mess, I think.
Yeah. It's true.
Yeah.
It's very true.
Yeah. But anyway, this movie...
So one little thing. So, this morning I thought about it, because, at the very end he says Helen 5 times in a mirror, so could you imagine people's grandmothers dying, and people are, like, screaming and crying, and
Helen!
saying Helen! And then she's just there, and kills everybody.
What?
What the fuck? God damn it. They don't mention her being a form of Candyman in this movie, so was that actually a thing? Or
and I have mixed feelings about that, but
too.
It's really unimportant to the story at hand.
It's very true.
Like, I would have liked there to be did you hear what happened to her husband or whatever? Oh, yeah. She's a new spirit of vengeance, like Ghost Rider.
Exactly.
But no. At the same time, Helen is not the focus of this story. It's Candyman. That's why the movie's called Candyman.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I was happy to hear Virginia Madsen lend her voice to this in a little cameo.
Mm-hmm. But I'm really glad that they didn't make her appear
Yeah.
I'm really glad that they kind of left that go.
They acknowledge that she's a part of the story in a very big way, but it's not her story.
They do tell her story of it.
Yeah.
Or what people think happened.
Which is very, very fascinating, considering that the first movie was all about how urban legends are created. And she became an urban legend.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's very cool.
Very cool.
Would you say full circle? I don't know. Anyway.
If you hear any bullshit in the background, that's my cat.
Yeah.
He's an idiot.
Yeah.
He's an orange cat, so, he shares the one brain cell that all orange cats share.
It's very true. Very, very true.
He's purring, playing with a bit of trash behind me right now.
That's my whole existence, is just playing with trash. As you do, you know?
Yeah.
Anywho. I lost all train of thought just now. That's great. I love that we're going to be cutting a lot of this bullshit out.
Yeah.
Anyways, good.
Well, we were just talking about Helen, and then trying to move on to this movie.
Anywho! Who was your favorite character in this movie?
Oh, man, my favorite character was probably Anthony, just because, like, we all had these theories once they started showing trailers. Is he the baby? Is he the baby in the first movie? But,
like, you'd have to be stupid to not realize, yeah, that is the fucking baby.
I mean, like, they could have gone... I think it was 50-50 for a lot of people.
This stupid fucking cat. God damn it.
Yeah, it's fine. I just won't pay attention to my son.
While it's being a fucking nuisance.
Yeah. But, yeah, no, Anthony was just, like, a very interesting protagonist. He was an artist, and not like your typical movie artist either. Like, he was kind of a hipster and kind of hateable in that respect.
Yes.
But, like, he wears the same beanie everywhere.
Yeah. Beanies are expensive.
Yeah.
What the hell is wrong with you?
And, like, he is a very flawed character, because his girlfriend's friends all hate him because he's an artist.
Because he's an and she is the money-making,
yeah,
art
curator, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, like, all of his peers also hate him because they think he's being favored by his wife, who curates all the art for the studio. And, yeah.
I mean, I'd favor his art, too. He's fine as shit.
Oh, yeah, Yahya Abdul Mateen II.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Beautiful man.
Oh, yeah.
My favorite character is Brianna, though.
Yeah?
Yeah. Because this is the first time, not the first time in a horror movie, but, like, she's such a good example of a good female lead in a horror movie. Because eventually the story does turn into, not her story, but she does become kind of like the main person on screen.
She becomes a final girl.
Yeah. Oh, man, and she's smart as fuck, too.
Oh, yeah.
She doesn't fuck around with, like, that saying that Candyman shit 5 times in a row. No, she's very smart.
That's actually something that a lot of characters touch on. Like, I think my favorite line in this movie was, black people don't need to go around summoning shit.
No, because they're fucking smart.
Yeah. No. Yeah, it's kind of a joke with a lot of black fans of horror that white people in horror movies are just stupid as shit.
It's very stupid as shit. Very stupid as shit. But horror has done black people wrong for so long.
Yeah.
I love this
You can only be the first person to die in a movie for so long before you decide, you know what?
Before there's also something weird and racial about it as well.
Yeah.
That definitely needed to be addressed.
Yeah.
Horror has done black people wrong for a very long time.
So long. And
oh my
so
god.
Long. Yeah. But, it was... Yeah, all of the characters in this movie are written with multiple layers and depth. I especially loved when Anthony went to go talk to his mom, and then that was like the big reveal. Oh, he is the baby from the first movie.
Had no fucking idea.
Yeah, because like his mom, for being such a small character in the first movie, was also such a deep character.
Yeah.
Because she kind of exposes Helen's privilege thinking that she could just go in there and take pictures of these people's home and maybe ask a few poor black people about their boogeyman.
Yeah.
And maybe get some high educational accolades off of it. Whereas this is her
using
life
them
and
to
her home.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that they build off of her and build off of that and bring her back in this movie for one really special scene.
Yeah.
Was a really nice treat.
Yeah. It was.
Yeah.
Definitely was. And I never understood why she hid it, but I guess it was because... Is it to protect him?
Yeah. So, like, she says that they had all agreed after Helen died, saving Anthony.
Yeah.
That they would try to bury the story of Candyman. They would never say his name again. They would never invoke him ever again. Because, well, now they know it's very, very fucking real. And there are consequences for it.
Yeah.
And how that ties into some of the broader themes that this movie is going for, I think is up for interpretation. Mm-hmm. Because this movie builds on the folklore aspect of the first movie and the boogeyman aspect, and how downtrodden people, that's the wrong word, but I'm going to roll with it, create their folk tales. Excuse me.
I've heard the term generational pain is like the theme for this movie.
Yeah.
I've heard that term a lot when reading a bunch of articles and listening to other people speak. That is...
Yeah. And I think the big thing that this movie did to add that into the story was the many Candymen.
Yeah.
You know, like...
how there couldn't just be only one. Because it's happened so much and happened so much in history.
Yeah.
Every generation has their version of what Candyman is.
Yeah.
Which I thought was such an interesting way. It was...
Like, it expands the mythology in a way that's thematically appropriate.
Yeah.
You know? Which is very rare to see in a horror sequel.
It's very rare to see in any horror movie ever to teach you something.
Yeah.
Like, when you watch this movie, you're definitely going to leave with a lot of thoughts and questions, and just, this movie carries so much deeper meaning.
Unless you're the kind of person who just writes it off as woke trash.
Oh my god. Okay, so, not really a side note, but that pisses me off so bad. So I was we were on, like, the IMDb page, whatever the fuck, and the first thing that I see as, like, a review or whatever the fuck, I don't remember exactly what it said, but it essentially was people thinking it was woke trash.
Yeah.
Like, the fuck is actually wrong with you? What the fuck is actually wrong with America for the majority of them thinking that way?
Yeah.
That makes my stomach hurt, thinking that.
Like, we can go all
Did you all fucking learn nothing?
Right.
Have these past couple of years, if you didn't recognize it before, you definitely should now after fucking 2020.
Yeah.
Do you it just baffles my mind that there's still people who don't understand what the fuck is going on. And
man, it's such a timely release of a movie too in that regard. Like,
then there's no way that was on purpose.
Yeah.
Like, with COVID and, like, that sort of thing.
Yeah. Funny how that's been happening a lot.
Yeah.
With you know, the past couple years. But I think Will Smith, pretty sure it was Will Smith whose quote goes, you know, black people have known about police brutality, been telling us about police brutality forever. It's just now being recorded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're now in the generation of iPhone.
Yeah.
And can easily catch you on your own shit, pretty much, and not going against what the police say, which in the very tail end of this movie, if we're gonna wrap it around,
yeah,
what they do to Brianna.
Yeah.
That's right. It's Brianna, not Brianna. Brianna.
We watched this movie months ago.
It's expensive to rent movies. Sorry, guys. I think it's Brianna.
Yeah.
Anyways. But ties back around to the very tail end of this movie when he says, you're gonna go with our fucking story.
Yeah.
And I love that she says, no. No, I'm not. And, invokes her, boyfriend.
Yeah.
And, killing everybody.
the new Spirit of Vengeance Ghost Rider. Spirit of Vengeance is just such an appropriate term for the Candyman, and every time I say it, I just think of Ghost Rider.
That's such a weird thing.
I would read that crossover comic. That's all I'm saying.
Oh my god. Anyways. Anywho. But yeah. I thought about that a lot, and I thought about the last line of the film a lot.
Tell everyone.
One, it was Tony Todd's, like,
His one appearance.
His one appearance, but it, like, left a mark.
Yeah.
And it was perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Because we shouldn't be hiding these things, or else they will serve no justice.
Yeah.
And
it reminds me of another project that Yahya Abdul-Mateen II did recently. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to go into too long of a tangent about it, but the HBO miniseries Watchmen, he has a starring role in it, and I don't want to spoil too much about his role in that, but he's fantastic, and you should definitely watch this show. But that's another show that deals a lot with generational pain in a very heavy way, and injustices faced by black people at the hands of agents of the state and police. And for a lot of people, that was their introduction to the reality that the Tulsa Race Massacre even happened. But that show deals with generational pain in a way where it takes our main character, played by Regina King, and literally puts her through her grandfather's memories, being a young man in the 1930s and 40s, you know? And she has a conversation with her grandfather at the end of the show after, you know, the day's been saved and the bad guys are dead or whatever. And they're talking in a theater where at the beginning of the show, we saw her grandfather as a young boy watching a show about a black lawman in the 1910s. And he says the most profound line that I've maybe ever heard in a comic book property before. Wounds need air.
yeah.
You know, you can't bury these things and expect them to get better. You know, you need to expose them. You need to talk about them. You need to work through them. That's the only way that they can get better. And I don't know if this is what Candyman was really going for. Like, after the movie ended, you said something about it being maybe like a Black Vengeance thing. And I think, to a degree, that's what Candyman kind of represents. You know, he is a spirit of vengeance.
Yeah, but I don't really like that term.
Right.
Because I don't really... Yeah.
Yeah. And it's not supposed to be...
Because I don't know if it's a vengeance thing anymore. It is and it isn't.
Yeah, I think this movie's trying to add some nuance to that. You know, like, whereas the 90s movie...
Not so cut and dry as
Right.
Black Vengeance, quote unquote.
Yeah, like when Tony Todd tells Brianna, tell everyone, like I think textually he's, as a character, just trying to keep his, you know, myth alive, but the subtext of that is we need to talk about these things.
Your silence will hurt people.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Which, now that I'm thinking about it, that whole conversation with Tony and his mom.
Yeah.
How they hid it for so long. Maybe that's why...
And it hurt.
And it
Anthony.
hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah, it hurt him.
Like, as soon
you
as...
not talking about this and educating him and telling him about his fucking past.
Yeah.
No less.
I fucking love that scene. It's like the best scene in the movie.
Yeah.
And the performances from these two actors are fucking phenomenal. And as soon as he hears his mom say, "When he first took you," he breaks down crying. And it's so impactful. Because you see the anguish that Tony's going through both physically and mentally leading up to this. and that's the validation, you know? Which is, it's a beautiful, heartbreaking thing to watch in a horror sequel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not to invalidate it for being a horror sequel, but
you don't see that very often in a horror sequel.
No, you don't.
Or even good horror sequels in general, just to have a good one.
Yeah. If you take out all the horror elements and all the supernatural elements in this movie, you're left with something that's still very good.
Yeah.
You know? Something you can chew on.
Yeah.
Fucking love that. Hi. My son spoke to me.
I'm really glad that the art critic died. Thank you.
Yeah?
You know, Clive Barker's namesake in this movie is a shitty fucking dude, which is sad. Because what was his character? He was an art director, or was he?
I think he was just another artist. I don't know.
God damn it.
Yeah.
We fucked this all up.
This is the problem with our schedules.
But anyways, he was a shit fuck.
Yeah.
Poor Clive Barker got that.
Well, I feel kind of bad pivoting from this really deep, meaty stuff to the gore and the kills. But the gore and the kills in this movie are fantastic.
Oh my god,
yeah.
when the art critic dies and you see her smeared on her. Oh man, that was fun for me.
Yeah. Yeah, no. And she wasn't even the first kill. Like, the first kill was a couple of Anthony's artist peers, I think. Or maybe they just, like, owned the place where they were displaying everything.
That's who has Clive's name.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. I really feel like good, effective gore attacks the small things. Mm-hmm. You know? Like, when Candyman gets his hook through his Achilles tendon and starts dragging him across the hall.
Oh,
I was
ankle stuff makes me nervous
because ankles are so complicated, and he's never going to be the same after that.
Like if you're surviving that, you're never walking right again. Like there's no fucking way.
Yeah. And maybe I'm just speaking for myself, but the small parts of anatomy in gore is the most effective parts.
That's true. Like fingers getting cut off makes my stomach hurt. Like you could full-blown a fillet of fish a guy.
Not even cutting off
it wouldn't bother me that much.
But like peeling off a fingernail or even just breaking a finger. I don't like
putting
seeing
something
things
underneath the fingernail.
Yeah. I don't like seeing things bend the wrong way.
I don't know why feet, like hurting somebody's foot, like really bothers the shit out of me.
Dear listeners, you're now imagining sticking a toothpick under your big toenail and kicking a wall.
It's like it's
yeah.
Or eye stuff. Can't handle eye stuff either.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but like seeing something go into some.
Yeah.
But not even like just a quick stab, but like just fucking with just your eye. Like I can't handle that.
I think that's why James Cameron focused on that in Terminator so much.
Probably.
Because people would cringe and not look at the terrible Arnie prosthetic too long.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, but...
Something I've heard from a lot of other reviewers was that one of the downsides to this movie is that this movie goes on many different tangents, I guess. Goes on many different,
It has a lot on its mind.
It has a lot on its mind, yeah, instead of sticking to, like, the straight path that it's on.
Yeah.
I feel like I can kind of agree.
Yeah.
And also, the ending is very abrupt. Happens very quickly. You're, like, going this nice speed, and like, oh, here we are.
That was my biggest problem. This is a spoiler discussion. So, Tony meets a guy in the movie who kind of explains the Candyman thing to him.
Yeah.
And
who is in Euphoria? Thank you. Anyways, I was watching it yesterday, and I was staring at his face, knowing that we were going to do this today, and I'm like, oh wait, fuck! He's in Damn it, sorry.
I'm really happy for you.
Yeah, it was a cute little thing for me. Anyways, keep saying words.
Yeah, but this guy, he was in the beginning of the movie as a child, and he witnessed a Candyman figure be beaten to death by the police in Cabrini Green. So he informs Tony about the Candyman myth and tells him, for me, Candyman was this guy, and this was his story, and this is what I saw, and I'm traumatized by that. But here are all the other Candymen. And it starts with this guy, Tony Todd. And it turns out at the end of the movie that this guy was trying to manipulate Tony into becoming a new Candyman.
Yeah.
And
which succeeded.
Yeah, it worked. Everything worked out well for him, I guess, except that he died. But it was very abrupt, and I don't think that worked really well for me.
I would have taken a longer movie for you to get there organically than to have that whole thing be rushed. And I do agree with people. That might be my, one why. Yeah,
because at this point in the movie, Tony's just, fucking gone. His arm has turned into, a beehive. It's the weirdest thing, maybe effects-wise.
His whole body's just mashed potato at that point.
Yeah, and his mind is flayed, as minds always should be by the end of a horror movie.
He's fucked. There's no coming back from where he's at now.
This guy's got him in an old church near the Cabrini Green, houses, which are the only parts of the old neighborhood that are still there.
Gentrification, children.
And his girlfriend, Brianna, comes and finds him, and the dude just, has Tony sitting down at the altar, and then casually saws off his hand and throws on this dirty trench coat he found outside.
To make him to mimic.
Yeah, exactly. He's just turning him into Candyman. Because I guess he's cracked the code, and some things have to be the same, even if you have to force them. Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. It's such a great movie.
It worked, though, I guess. I don't...
It's such a great movie, and it's kind of a shame that this feels so shoehorned in, but that it gets us to the last scene of the movie, I'm willing to forgive it.
Yeah, no, I'm that... It's not nitpicky, because it is an actual issue.
It is. Yeah.
But this movie is still fantastic, and you definitely need to see it. This movie speaks volumes.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's a great movie. And it's a great lead-up from the amazing movie that Candyman was. Yeah. The original.
Come to think of it, I don't think that guy has any experience with field amputation. I don't know. I was just thinking about this old thing I saw for the past few days about field amputation. And that's not how you do it. Anyway.
Is that your pet peeve with the movie?
Yes.
Okay.
That's my pet peeve with the movie. He doesn't do it correctly.
It's very
There's
true.
No craftsmanship.
God fucking damn it. I hate it here. But yeah, this movie's definitely worth the watch.
Absolutely.
Oh my god. And there's so much... I feel like there's so much more that could be expanded on with this movie. We could definitely talk about this movie for fucking hours.
Yeah.
There's only so much a small white girl can actually speak about this movie when it comes to the racial situation. The theme of this fucking movie. Yeah. There's only so much I'm going to be able to say because there's not a lot I'm going to be able to understand.
Yeah. I think this is something we mentioned talking about the 90s movie. We're human. We can sympathize. We can empathize. But it's completely different from coming from experience.
Yeah, so maybe go listen to an actual black person's review of this movie. Because they're going to have a better interpretation than probably we are.
Right.
We are from the outside looking in when it comes to a situation like this. But, I don't know. This movie made me look at things in ways that I hadn't before.
Yeah.
Given the past couple years and the education, at least, that I've gotten, personally, this movie's great.
This movie's fantastic.
There's not... I feel like I can't say anymore.
It's such a treat of a movie. I would call it a must-watch, for the year that it came out. which was last year.
Yeah.
Right? 2021.
Yeah.
I always have shit in my throat whenever I record.
That's true.
Yeah. I don't know what that says about me. But, yeah, no, this is absolutely a must-watch. You know, please, you know, take time out of your day, rent it, or if it ever comes back to a streaming place, watch it, and make your own opinion. But whatever your opinion is, whether it be positive or negative, just leave the word woke out of it.
I swear to fucking God. I hate that fucking word.
Yeah.
I hate that word.
Yeah.
Hate it. Absolutely fucking hate it.
Yeah, no.
If you're gonna leave with one thing from watching this movie, if anything's gonna teach you anything,
Yeah.
in times of injustice, you should be speaking up. If you see it, you see fucked up shit, say something. Mm-hmm. These people's stories, and especially in our real lives, should not... We need to keep talking about these things. Mm-hmm. Absolutely keep talking about these things. And that's what you should take from this movie. That's what I took from this movie. In times of injustice, speak up. That's it. That's it.
That's it.
Anything else you want to add?
No, just, this is a fantastic movie. Please, go watch it. Watch the original while you're at it if you haven't already. I don't know why you wouldn't, listening to this podcast when we told you to go watch it the first time. But watch that, then watch this.
I also think this might be our shortest podcast episode.
I like that, though.
I do too.
Yeah.
I do too. I also feel like the beginning was kind of fucky. Honestly, we haven't recorded a podcast in 3 months.
Yeah.
It's weird to come back with this one, which is so heavy. But, I don't know.
I feel like everything we needed to say, we compacted very concisely.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
We're growing.
It's true. Instead of just going on fucked up tangents. Anyways. Yeah. Well, like, comment, share, subscribe. Tell your friends. Tell everyone.
Tell everyone.
That was we both could not. That was bad.
Yeah.
Alright, sorry. Alright, bye forever.
I love you.